Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Dinner with the Doctor. On tonight's episode, we shall be escaping from Gorlworld's orbit. What do I mean by that? I mean trying not to feed into giving some of these folks what they really want. I mean, we know that Chantal is a bit of a troll. So's ALR. I'm sure the digger I deep, the more trolling I'll find from most of these gals. And the more I think about it, it's really not so much about whether or not people watch. It's about giving them the satisfaction of knowing that they've ticked you off. If Chantal thinks that she's ticked you off, she's happy. She doesn't care if you watch her video. And I just kind of, I think that's what would really bother her more than anything. For anybody who wants to know how to bother Chantal, stop caring about her. And it doesn't mean not watching her videos. It doesn't mean not commenting. It just means not caring. I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but that's what I think bothers her more than anything. Welcome in, folks. We already got some great chat tonight. Hello, Rosalind. Hello. Peace, baby. Pleasure to have you. Sherry, always nice. Cherie Vivienne, hello, hello. Kitty Goddess, hello, how are you? Rally Point, good to see you there. House of Hannibal, pleasure to have you, Hannibal. Let me put the here. I'm gonna mod you in here so you can put your own link. Hold, how about we do that? 1 second here. Let me get these. All right, and I'm also going to mod you, Rally, because I need a couple more mods. Hopefully you don't mind. All right, thank you, Vergs. Hey, Archie, welcome in. Alizu, welcome in also. Hello, Rally. All right, Hannibal, hopefully you can post your own link at this point. Everybody, feel free to check out House of Hannibal. He's another great channel on here. He does a lot of fun stuff with Gorlworld content. He does a lot of he likes to include a lot of music and variety stuff. It's a very very fun show. I enjoy it. I like to lurk there sometimes. All right. So like I said, escaping Gorlworld's orbit. What does that even mean? Doesn't mean too much. Just made for a funny little video that I'm going to post up real quickly. One more time because I liked how it looked. My little animation for anybody wondering. All right, so let's get on with the first and most, just to kind of shorten it. Like I said, I'm not going to cover Chantal and the cat because the cat is something that bothers me just from the sake. I'm not going to give her any attention for her cat. I'm not even going to act like I'm bothered by it. Just going to ignore it. So that's how I'm dealing with that because I really think that's the best way forward, and that's what I mean. I guess if we could sum up anything from escaping the orbit, that's what I mean. Just totally ignoring it, even though you know my feelings from the other night. I spoke about it. Obviously, I'm not a fan. With that out of my system, let's get back to the Dr. Phil thing. What is the Dr. Phil thing? For anybody new to this channel, I do a lot of reaction on here. I do a lot of comedy, but I also like to focus in mainly on health. I myself have lost a great deal of fat. I've lost almost 100 pounds total. I've been keeping it off now for a while, about a year or so. Not sure the exact months. Just did a weigh-in the other day. I really should start recording them, but my weight's been holding steady. I'm happy with that. I actually got really, really sick last night. Thankfully, I'm feeling pretty good today. I should be able to make it through the show. But just in case I have to leave early, I also want to let you folks know that. Yes, let me just, you're very welcome, Hannibal. And be sure to throw your link up at some point. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, please, everyone, hit that like, assuming you enjoy it. All right, so like I said, what do we do here on Dr. Phil's channel? The main thing is we like to talk about health, and we like to talk about nutrition. We like to talk about common things that we can do right, and a good way to do that is by looking at counterexamples. Who's an example of somebody who does a lot of things wrong when they eat? And also just with nutrition in general, we've got Chantal, we've got ALR, and they're very much in denial as well. So it's hard to get, in my opinion, a good window into the life of somebody who's so unhealthy and so blatant about it. A lot of people, they present themselves as, I don't eat anything, I'm just very overweight, I don't know why, and you never really could see exactly what's going on. Whereas with Chantal, or to an extent ALR, we could see exactly, well, not everything they're eating, but we could see a small picture of what they eat, and we can extrapolate the rest of their diet. So it gives a very, it gives an insight that just wasn't available in the past. So I really like that as somebody with a general interest in nutrition, beyond my general reality TV interest in this stuff. So I hope that's a good introduction for everybody, if you're not familiar. And if you are, let's get ready to enjoy the show. Oh, thank you, Kitty Goddess. Yes, I am feeling better. I was really awful, but it didn't last too long. It was only one night. I'm not even going to go into any more detail, but it was really awful. But we're better now. Okay, so let me put on the first one, and this is actually going to be from, I have a shortened up version because I like to use these when I have them. This is from the Gorlworld. Let me post the link from in here. This is a great channel for clips. I like to use a lot of these clips channels. Again, we talk about, you don't want to, some people say they don't like to give Chantal the view, and a lot of times the clip channels are just more efficient for my purposes. Although if it's necessary, I will go to whatever channel I must for one view. But here's a chance to see what's up if you're personally doing a boycott. You can catch up indirectly this way. Oh, and yes, Rally, very much. Patterns will emerge. Exactly. That's exactly what an extrapolation is. For anybody unfamiliar with the term extrapolation, it's an educated guess of where something will be based on what you know. That's I guess my simple definition for it, as well as I understand it, at least. So yeah, so you can extrapolate what Chantal eats most of the day by looking at what she eats in portions of the day. And I've got a feeling she doesn't eat this much every meal, but even if she eats a fraction of this for most meals, this is really outrageous.
I have koshery, and this
koshery? I thought she ate halal.
Here is, it's like a rice, which is meat pie with some tahini, some pickles. This is a dessert. I'll show you guys what this is after.
She's talking pretty. This is a cut down video to only 3 minutes, so I'm doing it at slightly fast speed, but I'm not speeding it up too much.
And so yeah, let's just dig right into this. I know I've eaten koshery before. For you guys,
first off, folks, I'm not an expert with what koshery is, but just looking at it quickly, that looks like chickpeas on the top, looks like shredded chicken. I'm sure we'll see more as she goes on. That looks like a sauce of some kind. That might be that tomato sauce. I forgot what she calls it, or what it's called over there. That looks like some kind of a bread. Now, what stands out to me is this looks like a family serving. This does not look like a single serving. This looks like not anywhere, even in America, would this be sold as a single serving. This is clearly meant for multiple people. And I'm a broken record at this point, but I always say, the food itself doesn't look unhealthy, but that portion is so incredibly massive. Okay, let's let it run a little.
Long time ago, but I'm having it now in the Middle East. So this is crispy onions,
indeed,
chickpeas, lentils, vermicelli, rice,
yeah, lots of carbs,
macaroni, and spaghetti.
Lots
of
carbs.
Carb lovers' dream and keto
indeed,
people's
animal.
Nightmares. Okay, we have Coke.
Ooh, let me take guesses, folks. Let me take some guesses from you. Does anybody want to estimate on the carbs, or excuse me, the calories for this meal? Because I have to see a little bit more the rest of what's in that bowl, so I'm not going to make my estimate just yet. But by the end of the video, I'm going to put in my estimate, and I want to get one from the rest. Oh, here's one too. Does anybody here think she's going to finish the whole thing? That's another question. I'm going to put that in a poll, actually. Will Chantal, don't spoil it in the chat if you've already seen this one. All right, Well, Chantal finished the whole meal. I forgot a space, but I think you both get it. And the other question, which is more like a fill in the blank, is the total calories for this meal. I don't want to give my estimate till toward the end. I'm pretty good at estimating calories, but this is going to be tough for me because I'm not familiar with a lot of these foods. So let's keep going.
Tomato, the sauce that you put on it. It's like a tomato garlic sauce.
Okay, so that's the tomato garlic sauce she likes. You could see it's got a thin layer of oil on top, so it has some added calories to it. It's not just straight tomatoes. So we have to account for that.
Oh, it smells good. Okay, so you just pour the sauce on like that. They give you two sauce.
This almost reminds me like of a Mexican style platter. You know, like the enchiladas with the shredded chicken and the tomato salsa on top. This actually feels a little similar to that, like a Middle Eastern version.
Sauces. I don't know if I'll need it, but let's see if I will. This is a very heavy meal, but it's also, the idea is that it's like so affordable and cheap.
Oh, Rally, that is such a fantastic point. That is such a fantastic point. Great tip for anybody. If you're trying to work on your diet, you're struggling with overeating, or maybe you just don't know if you're overeating, or maybe you're undereating. Make sure, use a plate that's gonna hold around the portion that you're gonna wanna eat. So measure out the size portion of a meal that you would want and and try to get a plate that's gonna fit that portion and not have too much extra space or be too small to hold it. And that way, because just naturally, people are going to eat basically what's on their plate, unless it's a crazy large amount or unless it's really tiny and then they're going to want seconds. But usually people eat just kind of what's on their plate. And if it's really not enough, then you'll go back for some more. So yeah, using a giant plate like that, you're going to end up just eating more. You're going to end up eating more just because without even realizing it, because it's just going to have this big plate of food sitting in front of you until you put it away. Oh, layered bean dip. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. You know, Elizu, after last night, I probably shouldn't even be watching this. Speaking of intestines. But yeah, Rally, exactly. And the silverware and the dishware, Chantal is always using the serving size utensils when she uses her own utensils, and she uses the pots to eat out of. And that makes it very difficult to judge a healthy sized portion unless you're already an experienced dieter. And you have to be pretty good at judging food. I'm pretty good at judging portions. When I go off my diet, it's not by accident. It's because I feel like overeating. And I'm not saying that it's good to go off your diet, but be knowledgeable. Don't think that you're on a diet if you're not. Don't think that you're eating healthy if you're not. Know what you're eating. And I think Chantal realizes that she's overeating, but I don't think she even realizes by how much. I don't think she truly understands what healthy portions throughout the day would be. And I think that she knows it's less than what she's eating, but I don't think she realizes quite how much less.
Love is understanding. Love is understanding. It's hard to believe love can be so demanding. I caught my finger on a can of corn. The chiffon hijabs, they just like do me wrong. I'm even doing a video called,
you know, the chiffon. Oh, I haven't seen a chiffon hijab in a little while. And this one with the flowers, I don't recognize that one. I haven't seen this one in a minute. I think this is a nice look. Overall, the white goes with the white on the flower, the flowers over there. I think actually it looks pretty good, the color combo.
what I eat in a day?
Oh, and Coca-Cola. That is the one choice that I always really am against. For anybody who's struggling with weight, soda pop is just a terrible, terrible choice. If you're struggling with weight and you want to get a treat, you want to have some extra sugar, still it's a bad choice because you're just going to drink it down quickly. It's not going to really satisfy you. I mean, if you're one of those people who just, you know, for dessert you like to have a can of Coke, okay, that's what you want. But most people, they don't have it for a dessert. They have it with their meal. And if you're not if you're trying to watch your weight or even just trying to maintain your weight, it's very easy to go over your daily calories with liquid calories like Coca-Cola. It's just pure sugar. It's what, 150 calories for 12 ounces or something. It's pretty high up there. I think this is a 16-ounce can.
As a fat person not on a diet, before I start my health journey one of these days, I'm sending out.
Did you hear that? She said before she starts her health journey one of these days. Well, I'm not going to nag Chantal. She doesn't care what I say. But I don't think that she should wait much longer if she's serious. If she's just BSing, then it's whatever. But if she's actually serious from somebody who himself has struggled with weight at times, not as severely as she has, of course, but it's never too early to start, and it can be too late to start. It actually can. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say that you shouldn't start, but I mean, it can be too late to get results. Let me put it like that. It's never too late to start, but it can be too late. But there's times where it's just, you're out of time, rather. It's never too late to start. Let me rephrase that. It's never too late to start, but you can run out of time putting it off. Don't put it off and run out of time. You know, you got to stay positive. Oh, and these are some great comments.
Stop me from drowning, baby. I'll do the rest.
That is a lot of sauce.
Am I making
Ooh, that's a great point Kitty got us.
Okay, forgive me. I have to work on
She bought all that vegetables. She bought everything she needs to make this meal basically already. She had cans of chickpeas. She had chicken breasts. She had a whole chicken. I'm not really sure what that is in the bottom. I think that's rice. I may have to call off the caloric guess on this one because I really can't tell what's in that meal. I'm going to say it's over 1,000 calories and just call it a day. I can't really tell you exactly what's in there. But I'd say it's maybe 1,500 calories because you got to have the soda and this thing on the side that she has and the 2 things of sauce that she put on it. So let's say 1,500 calories, but I really couldn't tell you. I'm just going off the size of it because that could be just, you know, rice with very little oil, or it could be really greasy. I can't tell from looking at it like that. Could have a lot of tabbouleh added or something, or tahini, excuse me. But yeah, that's a great point, Kitty. She could have made this entire thing herself. Now, maybe she could not have made it, but she could have tried to have made it. And I guarantee you that other stuff is just going to waste.
Everywhere. It's getting harder to contain my hair.
I think so too, Rosalind. In fact, that's right around my guess.
It's like tomato garlic. It reminds me of like my
another good point,
She's Italian. Oh yeah. I need more tomato sauce even. Stop me from drowning, baby. I'll do the rest.
That's why another thing I love about the Good Clip channels. They throw in the funny little pictures like the Kool-Aid Man, because Chantal is breaking through.
I know I look ridiculous. Baby bite.
Oh, did she actually finish it or not? Darn it. Did anybody actually see the original? Do you know if she finished it? We may pull it up at the end because there's some other ones I want to see. Well, okay. What is this thing at the end here, though?
Can't stop eating
This looks like kind of a sweet.
I'm full. Oh my gosh, I'm full.
She said she's full. I guess she didn't really like it. That's all. I mean, without seeing the original video, I'm going to say it seemed like she didn't really like it that much. Because when she eats, she normally doesn't leave very much. Trolling. Welcome in, Trolling. She didn't finish it on camera. Good point. We do not know if she actually finished it or not. But at least on camera, she did not finish it. Okay, so let me close up this poll. Will Chantal finish the whole meal? Yes, no. I guess the answer we have to put was incomplete because we didn't really get a good look at that one there. I'm sorry, folks. Kind of jerked you around a little with that. But hey, you know, it was still a fun watch. Okay. Oh, she wants BK every day. I agree with that. Let me actually, that was actually the next one I was going to put up real quick. And we're going to do a clip of Amberlynn as well. But let me pull up the most recent one that Chantal did. Because she did one. Oh, let me close out this one. 1 second, folks. Oh, let me. Yeah, she just released a new one that nobody's seen yet. Let's do that one. She just released this one a few minutes ago.
Hello, foodie. Hey guys, hey. Look what I have. I know I have henna.
Oh wow,
Yes.
she's got, look what she has in her hands.
So I will show
When
you
did she
guys.
get that done? Was that from, did she get that done last night, or is that brand new? Kitty guy says she's full of SHIT. And she does want BK every day. She has another one with Burger King. When I was a kid, I used to eat Burger King all the time. And Burger King used to be tastier when I was a kid. Maybe because I was a kid. Oh, this new one? Let's get a look at it. I'll show you at the end of the video.
the process, like a bit of the process for that, me getting it done. So, and a little bit of a mini vlog of me going to get it done. So check the end of the video or watch this whole video if you want. And
So
yeah, but
So she's going to show us a video of how she got that henna done.
this is the henna, and it's kind of like little dry bits will fall off, but the tattoo part, like the stain, will remain.
So we're going to do a
underneath,
poll
so,
on this one now too.
Don't mind me. That's why I don't have my ring on right now. So I have some of my favorite food here. I have some tabbouleh toum, which is garlic sauce. Tabbouleh is parsley salad, and it has like bulgur tomatoes, lemon juice, parsley, I think onion. So I have also some grilled chicken and a little bit of fries.
Okay.
And some pita bread, fresh pita.
I'll tell you, I don't dislike henna in
really
general, but
Yum.
it doesn't really look good like when you're eating.
And,
it looks like you just have,
Diet Pepsi.
because you don't see the pattern. It just looks like your hands are a
So,
little dirty.
Let's dig in. I'm so hungry, like you don't even know. I'm back to trying the intermittent fasting. Well, I did today anyway. I don't always succeed. You know, I see people say, "You're a liar. I thought you were doing one meal a day." Okay.
Oh, Amethyst with an interesting comment.
So what happened is I tried the one meal a
Are
day.
you referring to the last one she did? Because the last one, I didn't really get it. I couldn't really tell exactly what was in it, but it did not look especially unhealthy. The one she did before this. Now, I'm not going to say it looked especially tasty either, and she didn't really seem to enjoy it that much, but it did not look especially unhealthy. Now, as far as this one, I have not got a good look at it yet, but from the surface, it looks like a lot of greens and some chicken. There's French fries under your comment, though, so we got to keep in mind. I think it's going to depend on how many French fries there are there. And that sauce there, I don't know how much is in that plate there. It doesn't look like too much. Yeah, and what's in the salad? Is that a lot of dressing added on top? What is that? Is that a lot of oil? Let's find out.
And I obviously fell off, like I couldn't do it. So I went back to eating whatever.
What's that she said? Hold on, let me go back.
You were doing one meal a day.
She was doing one meal a day.
I see people say, "You're a liar. I thought you were doing one meal a day." Okay. So what happened is I tried the one meal a day, and I obviously fell off, like I couldn't do it.
Respect for the honesty. You know something? As I don't, you know, there's a lot of things about Chantal which I do not like, but honesty is always a good thing. So, you know, being honest and saying that she was not able to stick to the one meal a day, okay. Respect for admitting that. But now you got to find something that does work, though. You know, that's what's important. You understand, you find what doesn't work, okay, now let's find what does work. Oh, this video cut out her description of the ingredients? Okay, this is the one on her channel. Let me go to, hold on a second. Okay, let me actually put up the thing. I'm gonna go to the other one real quick. What I eat in a day as a fat woman not on a diet. Oh, is this the video she made before?
As a healthy,
where she cooks the meal.
Healthy person.
Or something.
The rack part, and see here, you just add boiling water.
Oh, okay, well, let me go back. I think that comment got retracted, so maybe I made a mistake. Maybe we were miscommunicated there.
Fasting. Well, I did today anyway. I don't always succeed. You know, I see people say, "You're a liar. I thought you were doing one meal a day." Okay. So what happened is I tried the one meal a day, and I obviously.
And Hannibal says her head looks like ink blotches.
So I went back to eating whatever.
When she's moving her hands, it really does. You can't really get a good look at it.
I'm gonna take some tabbouleh and some hummus.
Interesting. And it is because it comes off very interesting.
And bismillah.
Oops. Hello, Lady Nighthawk. Pleasure to have you in. Hope you're well tonight.
Julia is in the room with Salah.
And for anyone just coming in, I'm completely staying off any of the stuff that I decided. I'm just not giving Chantal any attention on certain things. But covering what she eats is still very interesting to me because of the fact that I'm interested in nutrition. And somebody who's so overweight, who struggles so much, we can learn a lot. Both if she finds something that works, we could learn a lot from that. But even seeing what doesn't work, we still learn from it, right? I do at least. I've certainly learned from watching Chantal and ALR and talking to people, I've learned a lot about, some of the different things people struggle with. Because I've only known my own diet struggles up to this point. My family's maybe, and a few people I've talked with, but now I'm learning so many people, so individual situations, people have blood sugar issues, people using different medications, hormone. There's so much to know, and that's why I'm trying to compile this together. And the more I learn, the more ignorant I feel sometimes. And Lady Night Hawk, I'm doing all right. I was really sick last night, but I'm hopefully gonna be fine. Feeling pretty good today. Hopefully I'll make it. Hopefully I'm on the mend. And also, anybody just coming in, this is Dr. Phil. Tonight we're going to be covering a lot of Chantal's recent mukbanging, but we're also going to be covering ALR's tea spill recently with Destiny, because I know we like a little bit of reality TV. We don't just want to do health food coverage all night. Well, that's a good question, Peace Baby. I actually know that some people can get an allergic reaction to it. So now, couldn't say for sure if it's toxic, but I know that some people occasionally get a very bad allergic reaction. So be careful. If you're going to get it for the first time, just get very, very little and make sure that it doesn't affect you negatively. Because there are people who get it done all over their entire body, and then they break out in this horrible allergic reaction. And that's happened to people before. So just be very careful. Make sure that you don't have a reaction before you try it. Hello, Ariel. Oh, you're not late. No problem. All we did was, we can always watch the replay, right? Glad you could have you. Oh, and I'm also glad to be feeling a little better. I was really sick as a foodie last night.
Pickle? So this will last about...
Hello, Archie. Welcome in. And welcome into anybody I missed. Welcome into any lurkers. Lurkers always much appreciated. I'm going to say that this meal overall looks something that I would call this a treat meal. I would not call this junk food. I would say that there's a lot of chicken breast there. It doesn't look fatty. It looks grilled. It looks a little dry. But at least it's not greasy. There's fries. The fries are not a good choice. I'll skip the fries. But the chicken, the vegetables, a little bit of that sauce, that looks pretty good. Oh, and two cups of tabbouleh has 400 calories. Well, to be fair, a cup is a pretty decent amount, but still, that's a heck of a lot of calories, because Chantal really scoops it on there. She doesn't just use a little bit. Thank you, Rosalind, for that information. And I always appreciate that, folks. I can always learn more, and thank you for sharing.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's a heck of a lot of chicken there. Probably 16 ounces after it's cooked still. That looks like an entire chicken, actually.
And I didn't eat.
It looks like an entire chicken, like pressed down flat. And yeah, it does look dry, sadly.
It's hot. I have an idea.
But it's hot and fresh, so it's probably still pretty good. And yeah, I agree with Hannibal. The henna from a distance looks like blurs. Maybe in person it looks better, but it doesn't really translate on camera.
Middle Eastern food? Hummus.
Listen, thank you for that information, Rosalind. 400 calories for 2 cups of tabbouleh. I'm always interested in any caloric information for Middle Eastern foods, because I don't eat Middle Eastern foods much, and I don't really have the database. Whereas a lot of Western foods and fast foods, I kind of already know what a lot of stuff is.
So good. Okay. Man, I was hungry. Can you tell?
Oh wow, I didn't realize 8 ounces of boneless, skinless chicken breast is actually pretty, there's a lot. I didn't realize how many grams of protein were in 8 ounces of chicken breast. 51 grams of protein, that's really good. Yeah, what is that? 8 times 6, yeah, I've heard it was about 6 grams an ounce. That makes sense. 8 times 6 ounces, 246 calories. That's not straight chicken breast, but keep in mind, the calories from chicken breast are healthy calories.
Hi.
But that's only to a point, because how many grams of protein does Chantal realistically need per day? let's say that she needs 100 grams of protein per day. That's, on the higher end for a woman her height, but let's say that she carries extra muscle because she's so heavy. So she needs 100 grams of protein. She's going to get that if she eats 16 ounces of chicken in a day. She's having 16 ounces of chicken in a meal. So any excess protein she consumes over that is going to go to fat. And then I see other days where she barely eats any protein at all. She just eats nothing but carbs and fat. So she has a very poor distribution of macronutrients. When she eats protein, she overeats it. When she doesn't, but then a lot of days she doesn't eat protein at all. So that's poor meal planning. I'm gonna criticize for that mildly. It's whatever. But I mean, that's something easy to fix in my opinion. Just split up the protein more evenly throughout the day, or every day have some protein. Don't binge and then not have any.
How are you?
No offense taken, Rally. I don't think Chantal, I don't think put any special significance into these into this. I think she just did it for the heck of it. She just put it on for the heck of it. Just like a temporary tattoo. She's getting it all over her mouth. Jeez Louise. Hey, what if? Welcome in. She's forgetting to breathe. Eating is more important.
She used to have issues with food because.
Ooh. Oh, she used to have issues with food. We're going to play this back in a second. Doing a Q&A and ask who would win in a boxing match, Foodie or ALR. That would be a really good poll. You know what? Actually, I think we can end this poll and switch to that one. Let's see how we got in this poll. Okay. Will Foodie finish this on camera? We got 61% yes, 38% no. My vote on this one, geez. I didn't put an option for not finishing it completely, so I'm going to go with the yes. I'm going to go with the majority. But I don't think it's guaranteed. I think there's a chance she might leave some of it, at least on camera, especially some of the greens. But I think there's a good chance she's going to finish it. So I would go yes on that one. Thank you for your votes, folks. And I'm going to put down put up that new poll as well, because I think that would be hilarious. Who would win in a boxing match? And I'll specify 3 2-minute rounds, because that's 2-minute rounds are standard for women. Because some people might say 3, they wouldn't even last one round. 3 3 rounds times 2 minutes each. Amberlynn, what's a good boxing name for Amberlynn? What do you folks think would be a good boxing name for Amberlynn? The Tornado? Destiny says she's responsible for a tornado, right? Amberlynn Whirlwind Reed. Amberlynn Whirlwind Reed. The Pain. I like the Pain. That's good. Hefty Lynn. I got too many good names now. Oh, geez. All right. I like the Pain. I like Hefty Lynn. Rolling Thunder. Geez. All right. I'm going to go with Hefty. I think Hefty. I like these. Okay, and Foodie. Well, we already got that. Chantal, Foodie, Beauty, Sorrel. All right, there we go. Foodie Knockout. Chantal, Foodie Knockout, Sorrel. There we go. Potato masher. Yeah, Chantal could. I think if there was a raid, like if it was like pro wrestling where they had to like get in the ring and argue first, or like, excuse me, they had to like argue outside of the ring first, then I think Chantal could win that. But if it was purely just a battle, I think that Amberlynn could take a punch better. I think Amberlynn I think Amberlynn, if Chantal could stick Amberlynn with her best shot and Amberlynn would keep going, Chantal just doesn't seem like somebody who could stand up to much offense at all. I just don't. I think that if Amberlynn even smacked her once, she'd start crying. That's my opinion.
I used to have issues with food because by the time I eat, it's like bread under the. I'm seriously so hungry that I just want to eat all night.
Well, you know something? Respectfully, I think that's a great insight. If that's true, Chantal has made a great insight there. That she's waiting too long to eat and she gets too hungry and she can't wait. She needs to eat foods that are more filling. Proteins, complex carbs. This meal is an example of a nutritional meal. Now, she shouldn't binge and eat the entire thing at once. If she took this and she split this up into 3 portions and ate this meal over the course of an entire day, that would actually be a pretty healthy meal, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing here. I think if she split this up into 3 servings and had, one for lunch, one for dinner, and maybe one as a snack or something, or maybe, had I don't know exactly, but I think if she split this up over the course of the day, this would be a good, nourishing meal. She needs complex carbs and proteins. She can't just have fat and simple carbs. That stuff will not, if you're getting hungry, don't have that. If you don't have an issue with appetite, then that's okay. Have what you like. But if you have the issue where you're always hungry, then you might want to look at what you're eating and try to find foods that typically will satiate you longer. Also, foods that are more voluminous. Eating something like chicken breast rather than. I don't know, eating something that really fills you up, like eating rice cakes. They're low in calories, but there's a lot to eat. They would both end up chasing the ice cream truck. Oh, wow. Oh, you're welcome, Peace Baby. I can see that trolling. In fact,
I think
that is sadly common among people who have food issues, and I guess I'll say trigger warning. I don't really know when it's appropriate or not to say that, but some people with food issues, they have they become very meticulous. Maybe that's the best word I could use for it about things, and they begin to concentrate on things too much, and ways that can manifest in nervous habits. And one of those nervous habits could be hair pulling. And considering Chantal's hair is gone, that would actually be a possibility. I'm not saying that's what caused it. I'm not trying to diagnose anything like that. In fact, let me do my my doctor disclaimer. No, not claiming anything, just saying a possibility. And again, everything on this show, this is just suggestion, observation. I don't claim to have any inside scoop or any special analysis beyond just common sense and trying to talk to people who know more than me on these things. That's really where I get most of my knowledge. I talk to people who've been around longer, like the folks in my chat. You folks, between this whole chat, we've got so much knowledge. That's why I like to put questions to you folks, because I think we all learn through interaction like that.
I should eat smaller meals throughout the day. But there are so many health benefits about fasting. I mean, you can do any search. So that's why I admire it, but it's so hard.
Oh!
It's so hard to do.
Oh, I got so caught up trying to be smart.
Because I would eat all night.
Yes, I think you're right.
So.
Yes, Sheree. That is a great point.
Anyway.
All right, trolling. Well, you know what? Either way, I think you made a great point. Either way, I think you made a great point. I could totally see Chantal hair pulling, and especially since she keeps her head shaved, she probably anticipates people pulling her hair. And that's another good point, Sheree. Chantal clearly has some other issues. She's not just somebody who overeats a little bit on occasion. And I can't solve that. I don't know exactly, what's the cause, what's the root, but she needs to, try to figure that out. Chantal, that's good for you to figure that out. Getting angry at people you don't like and trying to hurt them by doing things will bother them, things that don't help you or fulfill you in any way, that's not helping anybody in the end. You know, do things that benefit you instead of trying to upset people you dislike. And I think you'll have less people disliking you that way. Oh, I know that feeling, Rosalind. I don't like to feel too full either. And
It's tough for anyone.
I don't think Chantal has that feeling. And she doesn't have that reflex to wipe her lips that I have. I mean, I don't know if all of you folks, I don't know if it's a common thing. I mean, I think it is. Most people I know seem to have it. But like if I get food on my lips when I'm eating, I typically like to wipe it off. Maybe not, you know, that nanosecond, like it'll sit there for a moment. I'll finish putting whatever's in my mouth, you know, I'll chew it. But as I'm chewing, I'll wipe my mouth clean because I don't like the appearance of having food on my face. It's not even for, I don't think it's for any other reason beyond that. I don't find it too annoying. I mean, but it also feels a little annoying maybe. Chantal doesn't even seem to notice. Like her entire face could be covered with food. I don't think she would even realize. She just becomes very oblivious. Yeah, and the noise. That's part of why I've been turning down the volumes a little bit now. And I pause when I'm talking, but even when I'm not talking, I've turned down the volume a little bit because I really don't want to hear the food noises. Yeah, Riley, no problem with that. Yeah, that was pretty funny in retrospect. She totally would pull hair.
So the head took like the actual.
Oh, Chantal's the type.
Didn't take too long. It was.
Chantal's the type to come into the ring with a hijab on, and then like immediately accuse Amberlynn of pulling her hijab. Be like, oh, she fights dirty. She pulled my hijab. Like you're the one who wore it into the ring. You wore like she would intentionally wear it into the ring just so she could accuse somebody of pulling it. I feel like she's the kind of person who would do that.
You're right. That took long.
She's got a second sauce here. What was in that one?
So. I think it's really nice. Like, I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, she would, Rosalind. She'd be a dirty fighter.
That's just me. Well, no. A lot of people here find it cool. I love peppers. It's not really spicy, that pepper. I love hummus.
I'll tell you, another thing I've noticed with Chantal is, I don't remember who mentioned it was, Rosalind can't stand the feeling of being too full. Chantal does not have that issue. The other day I saw her eating like 3 different sources of carbs per meal. Typically, at least in America, I don't know how it is in other countries. I know some places they serve things differently. But we usually have like 1 large carbohydrate item per meal, 1 large protein item, and then some other things, you know, whatever, fill it out, maybe some bread rolls or whatever. But Chantal like doesn't really conform to any of those traditional metrics. She will have like 3 major sources of, like she'll have a big thing of salad and a big thing of rice and a big thing of potatoes and a big thing of pasta. And it's just, I don't understand how she doesn't get massively full from all that. And I think that she, you know, actually, this is something, because I'm brainstorming a lot of times when I watch this. I got a good idea that at least we're trying. If I were Chantal, I would try this. Just try cutting down the portions. Just try cutting them down by just a little bit. Like, don't even worry about what you eat. Because like, don't even worry about that. Just eat whatever the heck you want. But just get your portions down a little bit so you can shrink your stomach to the point where you could, if you did eat something, because right now, even when she eats something healthy, she eats such a massive amount that it's still going to go off her diet. She's not going to be able to stay on any kind of diet because she eats such huge quantities. So I think that's what she should try. That would be a great first step, in my opinion. Oh, hey, Blondie, glad you can make it. No problem. Glad you can have you. Choking very much because she eats so quickly, such large amounts. And talks.
I mean, not much to talk about, I guess.
Very little chewing, indeed.
I thought we did something relatively healthy.
You know what, Kitty? It's the fight we deserve.
You know what I mean?
Oh, and you know what else would be a fair fight? Because I think they're in the same weight class now, right? That was a little mean.
I guess I mean like not burgers and fries. I mean, that's the thing. It depends on your version of what healthy is like.
Oh, peace, baby. I understand
Some people
that.
only eat raw meat.
You know, peace, baby. I do that a lot too. And I don't want to. And I think that's a side effect of cooking either for one or sometimes for two, because it's hard to make multiple things in a small amount. You know, when you're cooking for a whole family, you're making food for 4 people. You're going to have to make a big portion of food no matter what you do. So it makes sense to make, 3 big plates of food. But if you're just making it for yourself, or maybe just your boyfriend or something, or girlfriend, whatever, I'm not trying to presume. But you just, it's only, it's a hassle making so much, I mean, I don't know what your situation is, but if that's your case, that might, that could be the thing. So I understand, don't be too hard on yourself, because I'm not perfect either. There you go. See, I'm the same way, peace, baby. I'm the same way. I'll cook for myself. I'll maybe cook for someone sometimes, and and that's But at least you recognize it, right? At least you recognize it, and at least you're. Here's actually a good practical tip. Let me give everybody a practical tip, because it's easy to say what's wrong and harder to say what's right. Here's what I would suggest, peace, baby, and this is what I do. I try to only make one thing from scratch each meal. I use pre-made ingredients, or I'll use something I made from a meal from earlier. Like one night I'll make steaks. The next night I'll make pasta, and I'll have the steak with the pasta. And then the next night I'll make some fresh vegetables, and I'll have that with the pasta. And then the next night I'll make chicken, and I'll have that with the pasta and the vegetables. And I'll just kind of keep adding something more that way I've always got something different, and I don't have to make a bunch of fresh food. Or like if I make fresh steak, I'll get instant mashed potatoes. If I make mashed potatoes fresh, I'll get some pre-cooked chicken. Something, that's the kind of stuff I do to make it easier to make a full meal when I don't feel like cooking so much. And yes, oranges. Her stomach probably is stretched out that big. I mean, I don't see how else it's possible to eat such a... I mean, I think everything she buys is for a family meal, because in the Middle East, I can't imagine that this is what they serve for a single portion. So I think she just buys family meals for herself, or Salah buys them for her, but that's not a good thing.
Digestive system would fail instantly.
You eat for a family, you're going to be as big as a family. They did give her a lot of sauce, at least, right?
Hey, to each their own.
I don't know, Blondie. That's an interesting question.
Carnivore diets. They'll eat raw meat with a raw egg in the middle. Ugh.
Yes, kitty goddess.
Sorry. I don't even like eating my burgers medium rare. I can't.
That's a good habit if it works for you. You know what, trolling, as long as you recognize it, it's
I don't know. No fiber at all. And then some people think fiber is BS. Some people think fiber is the most healthiest thing.
Fiber. Good subject here, Chantal.
Depends who you ask.
Let's see what she has to say.
Excuse me.
She says depends who you ask. Okay, well, I kind of have to disagree with that a little bit. I think maybe some people would overvalue fiber. It's possible. But I think most people could agree that fiber is a good part of your diet. You want to have fiber in your diet. If you don't get enough fiber, take a fiber supplement. Fiber helps you I believe it helps helps weight control. In my opinion, it helps me. It helps with regularity, so you're gonna feel better. Your stomach's gonna feel good, and it helps keep you more full, because it naturally swells up with water in your. It just kind of it's bulk forming in your body, so it's gonna make you feel more full. So fiber's good stuff. Don't go crazy and eat too much of it; you'll make yourself sick. But it's good stuff, and every diet should have some. Just don't start out with a high amount. Start off with a little bit and have a little more, because doctors recommend, 12, 20, 30 grams of fiber sometimes. And if you have that much, and if you're used to not having any, and then you have that much, you will get sick. So you need to slowly introduce it to your diet. But it's very healthy to have some. And I think that like this meal actually, this plate of greens is full of fiber. So this is a good fibrous meal. Indeed. Hello, no more Nashies.
So I mean, health and nutrition is just
Very true, Annabelle. Yeah, if your
but there are
stomach's
some things I
bothering
think
you,
universally
try
are
fiber.
accepted. Like processed foods are bad. I'm going like that kind of thing.
I feel you trolling. I absolutely love the I'm going to say right now, Oreos have to be like one of my worst, best love-hate foods. I don't think there's anything I like the taste of more than an Oreo, but I know that they're just so terrible for me. I can't think of any cookie that's more unhealthy than an Oreo. Like that's probably the most unhealthy cookie, because that Oreo cream is just straight up palm oil. It's straight hydrogenated oil, but it tastes so good. And I like the ones with the extra cream. I like the one with the extra cream. How crazy is that? The most unhealthy one is the one I like. But yeah, Oreos are like the worst darn cookie as far as health, but they taste so good. It's like, it's not fair. Why does like the tastiest cookie have to be the most unhealthy one? But it is what it is. Have an Oreo on occasion, but don't make them a food group because they're very unhealthy. I like, I find that just buying like interesting products on occasion kind of keeps me from buying too much. Like just buy like a few cookies from the bakery rather than buying an entire box of cookies from like Nabisco or one of those big companies. Because then it's hard to not overeat them. It really is. Oh yes, indeed. No more Nashies. The pre and the pro, very good.
There's some people who eat only fruit. Remember, I was gonna do that. After eating a whole bunch of like junk for like so long, sometimes you just crave just eating like juicy, ripe, hydrating fruit. Especially if you.
Wow, I actually know how she feels because I've actually had times where I've eaten too much junk food. And if that's not, when your body is literally telling you to stop eating junk food like that, listen, when your body says stop eating this crap, I've had enough, please eat just some fruit. I don't even like the taste of chocolate anymore, I just want fruit. When your body gets to that point, listen to it. Oh yeah, No More Nashies has a channel. Maybe somebody can drop their link. Here, Rally, you can drop, if you want to drop No More Nashies link, that's fine.
Salty fat.
I didn't know she had a channel. The extra cream Oreos. Yeah, I know, right? They're so good and so bad at the same time.
So that's where that came from.
Oh, geez. Well, thank you for mentioning that, Kitty Goddess. You know what? I'm glad you pointed that out because there's an exception to every rule. And absolutely, if gastroparesis is I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is a condition which makes it hard to digest fiber, you certainly have to avoid fiber. So, please be careful, folks. Always talk to a doctor. Let me put up the doctor disclaimer here. Talk to your doctor before you make any significant changes to your diet. Don't just listen to me because, everybody's very individual on things like dieting. And there's some advice that's generally good, but occasionally somebody's going to be the exception. And here we've got a good example of that. So, always be careful. It's like I always recommend whey protein powder. But if you're lactose intolerant and you drink that, it's not good. It'll make you ill. So you have to just got to keep that in mind for your personal dietary needs. Oh, the chat's been giving everybody a lot of trouble lately. So thank you for your patience, everyone. If I miss any of your comments, my apologies. Hopefully I don't miss too many. Thank you to everybody who's come in. If I've missed saying welcome to anybody, thank you to anyone in the chat, any lurkers. We love having you. And if you're enjoying the show, please drop a like. And if this is your first time here and you're happy, or even if you're returning and you'd like to see more of this content, please click the subscribe button. Oh, Beast Baby says she really likes having some fresh grapes. Yeah, grapes are really tasty. And if you don't eat things like chocolate all the time, they taste like candy to somebody who's not used to eating. You know, if you eat chocolate all the time, a grape's not gonna hit the spot the same way. But if you're not, you know, always having junk food, those grapes are gonna taste delicious.
So, like, you guys know, maybe some of you don't, but there's like a ton of reaction channels who react to me.
Are there? Very interesting to know that. I've heard of those.
And then,
I'd
like,
like to
recently,
try
I don't know what they're pissed off about this time. No, I think that's
okay, yeah, we got 2 votes for the cotton candy grapes. I guess I really should try them. Eating fruit off camera.
I think it's the fact that I don't know if they're pissed off about me. I really don't care.
Sorry, I missed what you just said.
I think it's the fact that I don't know if they're pissed off.
She does that eye roll all the time when she eats. Have you noticed that? When she eats, she does that eye roll. Like that. Like she really is just like, look at that. Like do you think Salah ever makes her that happy? Maybe I should close this poll and start that one in a minute.
I think it's the fact that I don't know if they're pissed off about me. I really don't care. So they're all mad. I think that I got a cat. I'm like, that's it.
I'm fast forwarding through this part.
Clutch.
No need to hear about whatever.
And then after the 3 days, what? You're gonna go back to no life. Like they have actual power. Like, I mean, one time Amberlynn Reed.
All right, here we go.
Was like, she struggles with her weight. It's not rocket science to know that it's hard to lose weight. Okay, so one day she decided to eat a shrimp ring on video. So
I think I actually only learned about this a couple months ago. I learned that Amberlynn apparently, and it was so funny because I was watching video clips of Amberlynn and I was doing the video and I was like, you know, this shrimp is probably the first thing I've seen her eat that you could argue might be healthy. Like out of all this crap that I've been watching her eat in these videos, this cocktail shrimp, at least it's plain shrimp and she's not dipping it in butter. Yes, you're very welcome, Oranges, Poor Oranges. I'm not gonna, give attention for, people make a good point not to give attention for some stuff, and why bother? Yeah. So what was I even saying there a second ago? Let's just continue on with the video. I kind of lost my train of thought.
how did people react to that?
Oh, Amberlynn, I was saying how the shrimp ring, at least the shrimp are healthy, right? but she managed to insult her audience in the process and tell them she doesn't care. Look at that. Come on, Chantal, why do you... Now, I understand. I'm not trying to shame her for getting something on her lips on occasion. I get food on my face sometimes, too. It happens to everybody. But when she eats the meal, she spends half of the meal almost with food all over her face. Like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's really because she's really just going nuts with the big bites. Like some people say that the feeder's like that. This kind of stuff gives credence to that theory, unless she's just that. Wow. Exactly, Rosalind. Exactly.
Very maturely.
That's why it was so funny, because I didn't. It was the first time I saw the video, and I remember, and people were like, "Oh yeah, you got it. Oh, this video is so bad. You got to see the shrimp video." And I was like, "How is that bad? She's eating shrimp. Shrimp's good." And then I learned that she was also having this terrible. Then I saw the video, and I saw, oh, that's why people don't like it, because the first I heard about it, people said the shrimp video, and I was like, "So what's so bad about shrimp?" So it was very funny for me when I learned that. I thought that was interesting. I was like, what's so bad about shrimp? And then I learned what actually people meant. Oh, at least she wiped it. Okay. Thank you, Chantal, for wiping it.
She decided to set up live streams and count her subscribers going down. Like, counting how many subscribers she lost. Like, let's all give her a blackout. let's all black her out. Let's all unsubscribe and teach her a lesson. Their words, not mine.
I think people are going to watch what they want to watch in the end, and you know, it is what it is. That's one of the good things about, well, good and bad about YouTube, is the content that gets watched is gonna get made, unless YouTube does everything they can to stop it. But otherwise, yeah, that's just how it is.
So,
all right, let's look at this poll. By the way, I think the poll is pretty
she
full.
ate shrimp.
I think we've kind of
Because a fat woman ate shrimp.
I think we've kind of got the thing. And I love how Chantal is being so disingenuous. She's like, oh, it's because a fat woman ate shrimp, because a fat woman ate shrimp. I was ignorant when I first came into it. And I was like, oh, what's the big deal? It's just shrimp. And then I learned, oh yeah, because she had a really nasty attitude. Chantal knows that. She's not like, you know, she's been here since a while. So she absolutely knows what the real issue is. And she just wants to say, oh, it's about it. People got mad because a fat girl ate shrimp. Okay, let's check on the poll. Let's see what we got here. All right. Who would win in a boxing match? 3 2-minute rounds, because women's boxing is 2-minute rounds. I'm not sure what it is in amateur. It might be 1.5-minute rounds. So we could go down to 90-second rounds even. 75% think Amberlynn Hefty Reed would take out Chantal Foodie knockout Sorrel. Yeah, I have to think so too. I think Amberlynn has the heavier set legs, so she's got a better center of gravity, in my opinion. Lower center of gravity. I feel like she's got a stronger neck. I feel like her neck is more. I think Foodie's got a big neck too. So I mean, I don't know. On second thought, Foodie's got a big neck, but I think Amber's neck would be less likely to, like, it looks stronger. Like, I feel like Foodie's neck is thick, but her head would snap if she got punched. They both have big hands, so that's a benefit. Big hands is great for boxing. I was never a great boxer because I don't have big hands. I was never a great boxer because I never trained to be a boxer either, to be fair. But but I think that I think Amber could take a punch much better. I've got a feeling Amber, is no stranger to fighting a female, whereas Chantal, I think she does all of her fighting just cursing and screaming and saying, "I'm prettier than you." Yeah, Amber is sturdier. Chantal doesn't have any mobility whatsoever. Chantal's completely lost her mobility. Amber could still kind of move around a little. Another thing, Rally, exactly. She eats like somebody's gonna take the food away. That's what it is. She eats like she's eating in a hurry, like there's a time limit. Like if she doesn't finish it before a certain time, she's not gonna have it. ALR the scrapper. She doesn't have a neck, just the head that comes out of her chest. For boxing, that's good, but I feel like there's no muscle under there though. I feel like her head would snap. And welcome in, Jen, and welcome into anybody I missed. Thank you everyone for coming in. And thank you to all of the lurkers. And you know what, actually, Rally, I think that if you that the biggest issue would be the weigh-in ahead of time. You would not be able to get either of them to commit to give you an honest weight. The fight could never happen because we would never get the weigh-in. They would both keep lying about how much they weighed. Like, all right, this fight for the 400-pound heavyweight championship of Gorlworld. And Amber weighs in, and she's like, well, I'm not going to show you what I really weigh. And Foodie's like, well, we have to use my scale. We can only use my scale. It wouldn't be possible to get a real weigh-in. Welcome in, Kidney J. Kidney J did a great video today about Amy Slatton and her divorce. And it looks like it's going to be going a little more smoothly. Watch Kidney J's channel. Kidney J, you can post a link if you'd like. But watch her video to find out the full, the deeper info. But yeah, if you're interested in that, check it out. ALR is more bottom heavy, so she's not going to be so easy to knock down. Yeah, Chantal does have no neck, but at the same time, I feel like it's a soft neck. Yeah, and the weigh-in would never happen. So that's why the fight would never happen. So that's that. Yeah, they would be fighting for the 300-pound weight class, but they would both refuse to weigh in. All right, let's keep it going here. This is the newest one. I mean, being a boxer is tough. The hardest part of boxing is just stamina, in my opinion. People think it's about being able to throw a hard punch, and that's part of it. You have to be able to throw a good hard punch. But the amount of stamina that you need to throw punches and move around the ring for 3 minutes straight, with a mouthpiece in, breathing with a mouthpiece in, and maybe after getting your nose punched in. Oh, no problem, Hannibal. You have a great night. I'm only going to be on for maybe another 40 minutes or so. Everybody, be sure to give Hannibal's channel a visit as well. But yeah, the boxing part, the hardest part is the stamina. If you want to box, you got to jump rope, you got to do the speed bag, you got to do the heavy bag, you got to do all that stuff, and you're going to work yourself out. It's very hard to get the stamina up, and that's why a lot of boxers, you see a lot of heavyweights even, they don't throw a lot of punches. People say, why aren't they punching? Why aren't they punching? You try punching for a 3-minute round. If you could make it 3-minute rounds, I'd be impressed. Anybody who can make 3-minute rounds, I'm impressed with you, because I could not make 3-minute rounds. Like for real? Like actually like punching, make it through the end of the 3rd round and still be punching? No, I couldn't do that. Not right now. I mean, I have to really, get in shape.
If people like that unsubscribe from me, good. I would rather not have people like that in my community, honestly. Like, trying to bully and intimidate someone into not eating shrimp, I guess? I don't know. I never got the point, but it's so ridiculous. Like, if you're so fed up with her choices and decisions, with what
she is being so disingenuous. Nobody was fed up with the shrimp. The shrimp was healthy. They were fed up with her crappy attitude. And for you to act like you don't understand, this is why you're having issues, the same exact issues, Chantal. And I don't mean to be critical. I'm not a long-term YouTuber. I'm not an expert on what makes a channel successful. I don't pretend to know that stuff. But having a bad attitude is not going to help you anywhere that I know of.
She puts in her body, then just unsubscribe and don't watch. Why make a huge spectacle of it? Like,
hold on. She's kind of talking out of both sides of her mouth. She's like, well, I don't like how they were trying to make a show, all of them unsubscribing. And then 2 seconds later, she says, well, if you don't like it, just unsubscribe. Well, that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. They said, we don't like it, we're going to unsubscribe. So what are you upset about, Foodie?
You think that unsubscribing is going to cure her eating disorder? Or her issues with food? I mean,
her issues with food weren't because of the shrimp, so nobody thought that. That's gaslighting. Or I guess you're trying to gaslight us.
Anyways.
Yes, indeed,
buddy. These are people who don't know how it works, basically. So.
Thank you. That first poll, is she going to finish the food or not? I think that we might be headed toward a win with the people who said she's going to finish. Because she's got time left. And
I guess they're trying that crap with me, but it ain't going to fly because I don't care.
She's going straight for the greens now. I think she's going to actually finish the whole thing. Hey, what's up? What's up, Dystonic?
Just letting
you make it. Just clean the bones. We're going to count it as finished even if she doesn't clean all the bones.
I will say one thing. I find being called a cat killer from the community of somebody who
we're fast forwarding through this.
But you put your dog down. Terrible. Anyway, do what you want.
And I will say this. I don't like talk about. I'm not going to talk about anything new, but I will say in general. And I never talked about this in the past because I thought it would never come up again, as I just wanted to not address it any more than necessary. But in my opinion, and I'm just to put it out there, so there's no question about where I stand. I think Chantal neglected her cats in the past. I don't think she's a good cat owner. I don't think she should be owning any cats, and she certainly shouldn't be talking about anybody's pets. And that's all I have to say on that.
Keep the blackout going longer. I enjoy it. Anyways.
Her eye rolls have gotten so powerful they go to her neck now.
I used to rage a lot because I just couldn't get over like the hypocrisy in this certain community. But now I really did see like a quote where it's like,
I have to agree, Peace Baby. It doesn't work well for her. especially not
People
going
are,
down the
you can't control
fingers.
what people are going to say. They're always going to say something stupid. So
You know what, Peace Baby? The more I think about it, the more I have to agree. And part of it is the design, because the design is like going down her fingers, and it just accentuates how big her fingers are. You know what I mean? Like it just makes you see all the space on her fingers that the henna is not covering, and it just makes them look even bigger. So it really doesn't work well for her.
live your life, man.
And again, more food on the face.
That's your lesson of the
How
day.
does she constantly get food on her face?
I could
point,
live
what if?
off of tabbouleh, hummus, and bread.
More food on the face. How does she not wipe her face ever?
And yes, I promise that's the last time I'm talking about this crap. With
Thank you.
anything. With anything related to this juvenile community.
Now she's got another thing on the other
Right,
side of her.
which-
How many
which that
things
whole
on?
community
Every
would
bite
just
she
die
took,
out.
she got something on her face.
But
And she's got it on her hijab. She's got it on her shirt, all over her. She's really a bit of a sloppy eater. And there's no reason why she couldn't put a napkin down. Why doesn't she put down a napkin? I always put a napkin on my lap at the restaurant. I mean, they make extra large napkins. Even when I was at my heaviest, I still put the napkin
this
on my
hummus
lap
is really good.
because it was good manners.
I think this will be my last hummus and tabbouleh sandwich. Probably not the most interesting mukbang, but
She might not. I don't know if she's gonna finish the whole thing. I think she's gonna. She finished all the chicken
probably
though.
just do mukbangs like this.
Finished everything but the
Like,
salad.
it's just whatever
So-
I'm eating today.
I kind of want to give her credit for
much.
finishing it. I mean, I would call that finished.
You know?
She has it all around her boob.
How do you guys like to unwind
It does
after a
make
long
her
day?
hands look
We've
more
been
bloody.
doing
Welcome in, Jen. What is
cuddling
she
in bed
eating?
with
Good
Dad,
question.
watching horror movies.
Jen, if you missed it earlier, and for anybody else who missed it earlier, let me share a little bit of what we're covering tonight. We're just covering mostly mukbangs because that's nutritional, but we're also be covering in just a minute some of ALR's tea spilling, Destiny's tea spilling. There's a little going on over with that, but I always like to do the nutritional stuff as well. But what was she eating in this meal? It was a takeout meal. It was a large serving of chicken. In fact, I'm going to rewind it so you can see a picture. So where are we right now? We're at 23 something. So we're going to go back to show a picture of the full meal in the beginning.
Is in the room with Salah.
So you could see what she had. She had a full platter here, bunch of French fries. It looked like an entire chicken, pressed and grilled. It looked a little bit dry, but it looked pretty good. Some cucumbers, or not cucumbers, excuse me, some carrot pickles. It looks like some kind of other pickle. This big green salad with maybe chickpeas in there. I'm not sure what. She's got this tabbouleh, or tahini or something, and she's also got two different kinds of bread. So altogether, this meal is well over 1,000 calories. Again, I don't think we're up to 2,000 with this one. I think these fries are probably about 300 calories. I think this chicken's probably about 5, 6, maybe 7. I mean, it depends how much chicken is there. It's all flattened out, so I can't really tell you. But let's say at least 5 for the chicken. Another 350 for the fries. That big plate of salad will probably be, because there's dressing on there, it'll probably be another 3. That tabbouleh, someone in the chat was kind enough to say that it was 200 calories a cup. So that's got to be at least 1 cup. It's probably like 2 cups, so probably like 400 calories, but she didn't finish it. But yeah, the bread, at least 100 calories for each slice, each of those pitas. So over 1,000 calories easily, but not all the way up to 2,000. So not one. As far as her mukbangs go, this is actually pretty healthy. If she got this stuff, like I said earlier, if she spread this meal into 3 portions and ate it throughout the day, it would be pretty healthy as far as a full day's food. But for a single meal, not so much. Yes, indeed, what if? Thank you for your information. Well, she is sped up slightly, but even at normal speed, she eats really fast. Oh, yeah, I can't see it now. She really does. Like it does.
Now
Like the way they
everything
taper
will-
down at
will
the
give
end.
attention
The
to
fingers,
is
they start off big and then get small.
my beezers, followers.
I can see that trolling.
Um,
I like your picture, by the way. Very nice.
living my life.
Oh, that's right. She got that 6-pack of
kind of
Reese's
thing.
peanut butter cups.
By the way, you can get. Excuse me. You can get red
1,700? I think that's a fair
henna
estimate.
as well.
Around 1,500? 1,700 is possible.
Actually, I find the combination of foods that make me the most satisfied, the longest, is a bit of everything. Like
Good.
some kind of starch or bread,
Okay.
protein, beans. Like these kind of proteins keep me so full because they have a lot of fiber and protein.
You know, those bean dips and stuff can be caloric, but they're still they're not inherently bad. They're just very caloric because they have a lot of oil usually. But other than that, like the beans, the peas themselves, the chickpeas, they do have protein, so they're not the worst thing in the world. So I think Chantal, again, she made a good insight here. She kind of stumbled into it as usual, but she's realized that when she eats a balanced meal, it's most satisfying. There you go. I mean, that's what we've all been harping on. Considering she gets so much takeout, there's no excuse for her not to have a balanced meal. Like the best excuse for not having a balanced meal is you don't have the time to cook it, you don't have the resources to cook it. But she gets so much takeout and everything, you know. Why not?
Meat and greens.
Meat, greens, and starch. That's what she likes. That's what she says fills her up the most. Hey, you know what? She's right. I'm not gonna give her a hard time for being right. I wish she figured that out a little earlier, but hey, good for her. Better late than never.
Very filling meal. So I'll probably have my Nescafe and then it'll be bedtime. Oh my gosh. I can't.
Yeah, I think I don't know if there's hope for Chantal with her meals, but if there is, it's if she can get her portions down. Because this meal by itself, like I said, it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with this food. It's the portions that are just out of control. And if she could just get it into a reasonable place, she'd be okay.
Can't wait to go to bed. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
You
good
don't
point,
know.
Nashies.
I don't have to convince you when it comes to sleep.
That's sad, right? I think you're right.
Anymore. I used to
you're
have
right.
like went through a period where like,
The henna
sleep
does not
was
work.
bad, but I wasn't like.
And you're looking
properly
nice tonight too.
medicated,
This funny, very nice picture.
Now that I'm on my medication and
You too, Golly. Everybody's looking nice.
I think it'll be even better when I start back at the gym.
Guys, you should
Oh
tell
my
her
gosh, we've just been really
playing
busy
with
lately.
ink, and you did it
So,
right after.
but
The henna just
I think
doesn't
once we
look
get back to the
pretty on her
gym,
mitts.
he and I both want
I
to
have
finish
to
out our
agree,
membership.
Colleen.
I think I have like a month and a half left of my membership. So even just to feel better, you know, I always feel better. Like I feel like one, I accomplished something. Two, like my body feels good for
Interesting point.
putting it through.
And she
through
was
the best of
talking.
your body,
Okay,
releases those
two things I
endorphins.
want to cover real quickly.
And-
I'm gonna go back in a second because she was talking about the gym, but that is a great point. Oranges, poor oranges. I didn't even notice that she didn't have her wedding ring on because she has the henna. Is it possible she put on the henna so he wouldn't realize the ring was missing? I don't know. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I've heard crazier ones. That one's reasonable to me. You know, that she's, who knows? Maybe she's getting it resized or something. Oh, you're very welcome to Stun Yet. Yeah, she got a 4-month gym membership, and she said it was expensive too, and she hasn't used it in all that time. Respect to her for being honest, at least, because she could have lied and said she was going every day. I mean, and that would have really been insulting to the people who watch for her to think that we could believe that. So respect to her for not lying to us and saying that she went all the time when we know for a fact she didn't. But, you know, come on. Try to get some money out of that gym membership. Although it doesn't really make sense to get a membership in the middle of summer in Kuwait. I mean, it's just so darn hot. Just getting from the parking lot to the gym is going to be an exercise for her at her size. You know what I mean? Like I just can't imagine that she's going to be able to find a time in the day when it's not going to be so hot where she's even going to be able to get to the gym without being tired out. Let me get this back on. Sorry, folks.
Then, you know, exercise just always makes you feel good. So now I'm tired. I still have a lot to do before I get to sleep. Anyway, thanks guys for watching and listening to me, and I will talk to you later. Bye guys.
Oh, and she got a new vehicle as well. Did anybody have any opinions on the vehicle? Does anybody want to see that vehicle video?
Hey guys! So I'm just in the car here waiting for Sola to get in here, and then we're gonna go get my henna done. First time having henna done.
All right, so she has the ring on here. Yeah, that ring is tight. It's not as tight as it was, so I guess it was resized. But darn, that ring's tight. You know, her fingers are just so darn swollen. And I think that it's more than just from obesity. I think it's also salt and fluid retention at this point. Because the shape of the fingers, it's not just that they're big, it's that they taper. And I couldn't say for sure, but I've noticed that not everybody that obese ends up with that finger shape. Although at some point they do. When you eventually get so big, you do get that finger shape. But it just seems to be a little more pronounced than I otherwise would expect it to be. So it's unfortunate.
Not sure what design I'm gonna get, but let's see when I get there. And yeah,
Not saying
henna
much.
is actually
And you know what if?
something.
In a way, I'm glad. Because I think she realized that she's got a big backlash toward what she was planning to talk about. I think she planned to have something to discuss a lot of, and I just didn't think she realized that people would not be willing to hear that. We just don't want to hear that. We don't want to see that. We've all had enough. Even the people who aren't really, big. Even the people who aren't even real hardcore animal folks just don't even want to see that. We're unhappy with that. We don't like that. And I think that's why she doesn't have much to say, because that's what she was planning to talk about. But who knows? Yes, it can be.
That's very acceptable in.
Although it can be a
Islam.
sign of a big meal
And,
too.
There's a
look new.
hadith that
It looks
says
nice.
that women
At least the
distinguish
recent
their
model.
hands, their femininity, with the henna on their hands. So yeah, it's acceptable in Islam, and I'm gonna go get a nice design, and I'll show you guys when I'm done. Yalla. Oh, one thing I love about our new car is the sunroof goes all the way the length of the entire vehicle. I think that's pretty cool anyways.
Now, that sunroof, I think, would be really cool in any place except where it's over 100 degrees out all the time. When it's over 100 degrees all the time, I don't think I would want a sunroof the entire length of the car. Normally I would really like that. I think a sunroof is cool. And I'm not one of those people who loves windows and everything, but I just think it's cool to have the sunroof. You know, it gives you some more light to see in when you're doing stuff. I think it looks nice. I think, it just gives you, makes it easier to ventilate the car if it's very stuffy and warm. So I like the sunroof, but it just doesn't make sense in a place like Kuwait. You're gonna have that hot sun beating down, just bleaching those seats and really doing havoc on the interior. Oh, jeez.
All right, so I'll see you guys soon.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't it a Jeep or something? What was the new car she got? Was it a Jeep? What was it? But yeah, let's also check out a little bit of Amberlynn. But before we go off foodie, does anybody remember what kind she got? Was it a Jeep or and you're not being horrible, Colleen. You're being realistic. Because if it's a Jeep, you could take the doors off the Jeep, making it a lot easier to get in there. So there you go. Although, yeah, Jeep, from what I remember, it's been a while since I've been in a Jeep, but I remember they have a pretty high step. So even if they have the one with the extra folding out step, I just can't see her going up because it's like double. I don't want to say double, but it's more than the height of a regular car significantly. Not as much as a truck, but it's much higher than a car. Oh, it is a Jeep. Okay. Oh, it's a Hyundai. Oh, does Hyundai own Jeep? Well, whatever it is, it sounds like something that might not be the best choice. Oh, that's a good point. She has gained a lot. A Hyundai SUV. Okay, that makes sense. So she got an SUV type vehicle. Yeah, when you get to that size, you really do, because a small coupe, especially, is just not going to fit. And a large luxury sedan would be out of their price range. So I think an SUV type vehicle would be the best choice. Unfortunately, those use a lot of gasoline, but I think gasoline in Kuwait is pretty reasonably priced, from my understanding. So it's an SUV. Okay. Wonder if the seatbelt fits. They probably have to get an extension. I mean, I don't know. I remember that when I was at my heaviest, the seatbelt always fit me pretty well. But who knows? When you get to a certain size, it's different. Yeah, let's just see really quickly the end here. Let me go back and look at her
all
body
the way,
real quick.
the length of the entire.
Oh yeah, she's using that height. That is such a great point by the angle she's using. Who wrote that? Jen. Very, very good insight, Jen. Thank you. She's using the what do they call it? The MySpace angle, where you put the camera up and face it down so that you can't really see. So it cuts away any extra fat from your image. It makes you look thinner than you are. I actually had a picture, and I was like, hold on a second. I don't remember. How old is that picture? Because I had like short hair in the picture. I'm like, when did I thought I was heavy back then. And I realized I was heavy, but I took the picture at an angle where I couldn't even tell. I didn't even. I look like I hadn't lost any weight at all because I look like I hadn't gained any. But that's just at that one angle. But yeah, very, very good point. She's cleverly using the angle, but it can only do so much. It's just too much. Just too much. So okay, let's put up the. Let's weigh in with Amber for a minute. Let's see how she's doing. Because we got the latest tea going on here. Let's see what's going on in this end of Girl World for a second. And let me put a link to this channel as well.
And my foot was just like dangling.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
And here's where I got this video from.
Hey lady,
You don't have OCD.
you forgot your spaghetti!
You have obesity. Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here. I'm actually starving. That should be my middle name. Amberlynn.
Yeah, definitely check out Apathetic Facts. Apathetic Facts does really great clip videos, assembles the clips, just does great work. I really love a lot of these clips channels, and Apathetic Facts is yet another really good one. So check them out too. If you want to see, if you don't want to give the view directly to somebody, or if you're just in a hurry, whatever the reason, clip channels can be a great asset.
I don't know.
I like your little intro with the cute music.
So disconnected. She was like, "You're healthy,
Got the chipmunk singing.
but you are obese."
Hello? Does anyone have?
Chipmunk dance music.
Did you really walk home when Destiny left you at Walmart? Yes, I started to.
Shake.
Like the fact that it was 1 a.m. and you left your partner at Walmart at 1 a.m.
Oh,
Red
she's trying to
red
say
flag,
Destiny
red
left
flag.
her.
And all while she's still talking to her ex behind my.
Hold on. So Amber's saying Destiny left her at Walmart. Is this the story I'm thinking of? The one where Destiny claims that she called Amber Pookie and that Amber drove off in the scooty? And now Amber is trying to flip the script on her.
My back. No wonder why she called me Pookie, because she was talking to Pookie behind my back. So funny.
That's the
Yes,
reason.
you can ask questions about Destiny. This isn't going to be like a ongoing situation type
So
deal.
he's flipping
I
it
talked
up.
to my therapist about this, and he agrees that I should be able to share my side and my story, and I agree. Krista said that would be an immediate breakup
Hey,
for me.
she
The whole
senses an
situation
opening.
is so, but yeah, I'm in the wrong. That's so funny. Why did she leave me at Walmart? Because okay, so there was a Subway or a Burger King, I don't know. It was like inside of the Walmart, and she called me Pookie, and that really upset me because my gut and my intuition is always right, and it just made me feel really uncomfortable that she did
that should be
and
clipped. I don't have the power to clip at this moment, but I could. One of these days, I'm going to get some better, do some better editing. But that is a line that I love.
side of the Walmart, and she
Her
called
intuition is always right, folks. Let's listen to
me
that.
Pookie, and that really upset me because my gut and my intuition is always right.
There you go. ALR is always right. At least her gut is always right. Intuition. That's why she did intuitive eating so successfully, because her gut intuition is always right.
And it just made me feel really uncomfortable that she did that. And I later found out that it's because she was still talking to her ex behind my back. She was re-downloading and downloading an app to talk to her ex behind my back. So anyways, she called me Pookie. I didn't want to be in her presence. So I actually went and sat down in the subway, and I was just trying to calm down because it upset me. Like, I have every right to feel upset. Like, don't gaslight me. Don't invalidate my feelings. I was upset. I needed to breathe. And she said she couldn't find me, but yet I was sitting right in front of the entrance in the exit of Walmart. She is a joke. She is a lie. If someone left me for getting uncomfortable about saying something, would get to me like that, I'd be so hurt. Oh, I was for sure hurt. And when I realized that she left, I ended up walking home, and it was nighttime. And I was I would say about halfway home, maybe a little further. And she ended up picking me up. Why did I use the mattress? Because I was bleeding so much and I did not want to sit on their furniture.
What?
So I would sit on a mattress and I would put towels down.
She says she was...
Has Destiny reached out to me? Yes, she's freaking weird.
She said, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar on that and the full part of that. I'm assuming she's talking about when she was living with Destiny's family. When she says bleeding, I mean, assuming it's not anything too graphic, I mean, does she mean like any specific, like, is it something that we could discuss? Like, is it bleeding from an injury? Or, like, I don't want to be too, like, I don't want to presume, like, but I don't know what she means by, like, why she was bleeding so much. Like, I mean, whatever the reason would be, it would be concerning. But I don't know. When she says so much, it makes me think a lot more than would be normal. But maybe we'll hear more. And yes, what if she did just say la?
I don't understand what her motive is. But, like,
okay, say no
she sent
more.
me a picture of me and her and her mom.
Oh, okay,
on the
I got
beach.
you, Kidney J. I wasn't sure if that's what she meant.
Like,
I was hoping that's what she
I
meant.
just don't want to show her number because her number
She
is
wasn't
not saved
like,
on my phone, and I'm not
like she
good at
didn't get
docs.
stabbed and was bleeding or something.
Let me just take a screenshot of it. That's what she sent me. And I said, why are you sending me this?
Did you really send Amberlynn that pic of you, her, and your mother? I did send that to her what was it, yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day she might have shown you. It might have been the day before. I don't know. But it popped up on my timeline. I just thought she should see it since she's been talking all about my mom. Y'all say hi to Amberlynn because she's watching. Because she texted me. Look at this. Look at it.
Oh, so this is a recent text. Amber's been texting her
I told y'all, I
again.
said you should have guessed me.
Okay.
I said I didn't say any of those things, and she said what things, and I said in the chat, and she said okay, it was a troll, not surprised. But here it is. Look at this.
It's weird, and I don't really know what her motives are. And my favorite of it all is Dana even said, like, she's totes fine with me talking about this. Destiny is literally messaging Dana behind her current fiance's back and denying it on live stream in front of her fiance, but yet Dana sent me screenshots, which no, I will not show those. I'm like, what is actually happening? Like,
Amber keeps saying you're talking to Dana behind your fiance's back. Did you not know that me and Dana had a friendly relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, so Destiny and Dana are friendly, and Amber is trying to blow that into some kind of cheating situation, something inappropriate going on. And it seems to me, from what I'm seeing here at least, that she's doing that knowing full, why am I not doing it for sped up? Because it's already a little bit sped up, I think. But why am I not surprised? That's just such a nasty little move to try to make her look bad. If that's true, if what she's saying is, that's nasty.
Yes, I did know. Amberlynn saying that I've been talking to Dana. I had a friendly relationship with Dana until February, if that. I think it was January, and she knew about it. We only it's not like we were talking to besties every day. Was it true that you slept with Amber while you were dating Dana? No. Literally, me and Amberlynn broke up the weekend that we broke up, and she said I tried to hook up with someone the very next day. I did not. I got away from her the next day. I literally said in the video of the breakup video that I just wanted to be away from her. I literally went to my mom's the next day. I went to Goodwill and stuff the next day, and then on Sunday I hung out with Charlotte. Friday broke up, Saturday my mom, Sunday with Charlotte. But the
I love that. I did not hook up with somebody the next day. I went to Walmart. I went to my mom's. I needed to rest the next day. It was the day after that I met Charlotte.
following weekend,
It was 2 days.
I can say that we did hook up. Me and Amberlynn did, but this was still before me and Dana had started talking.
Like, I'm not here to spill tea or anything like that. That's not what
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I'm here. That's not the type of person I am. You never once said anything bad about Destiny's mom, even though she disrespected you majorly. That shows how compassionate and understanding you are. That's because I really, really love her mom.
I got something. I mean, if anybody's already seen this, I think I got something that might be even funnier. If we wanted to end it, there's something I want to end it with ALR. I got something I think is actually a little bit funnier to end it with. Let me find what I had here. I actually have something on a different ALR vid that I think is going to be even funnier to end it with. Amberlynn disrespecting all the parents of her girlfriends. A supercut. Let me get this here. Hold on. 1 second, folks. Okay.
Jive well with a foster home that we were in. I felt like I was being like literally mentally abused by this woman. And there was one point that she pushed me down a couple of stairs. So I got really pissed off.
She played Destiny, push her downstairs.
Typewriter onto the ground. It was bad. So that night she called my social worker because I told her I didn't.
Why does Destiny have a typewriter? Didn't they go out like in the 21st century? Who the heck has a typewriter in the 2010s? Like what? Like how old are these people? They have typewriters.
Not want to live with her anymore. But for some reason, my brother wanted to stay with her. So from that point on, we got separated for a very
long put a link to this channel also, really quick.
time. I ended up actually going to an all-girls group home. So someone said, I don't believe you. I don't fucking care.
Verbally, was she verbally abusive to you?
Oh yeah, she'd always,
Sorry, I'm right here.
she'd always talk.
You can say whatever, Mom. They're asking you to be honest.
Yeah, she'd talk a bunch of shit. But then in the same time, she would say that she was, grateful and,
This must
her
be
mom
one. I
was
don't remember which of these girlfriends. This one on the left. Is this one of her? Must have been one of her older girlfriends because I don't remember this one.
there. And
Oh, no more now. She still uses a type. It's okay if you use one. I'm just surprised. Like, is there a reason you have one? Like, is it an heirloom or just you don't like computers? Like, I don't know. I just don't know many people who still
her
use
dad
it.
was never there. And never.
I mean, I'm old enough to have used a typewriter. I did use a typewriter when I was a kid. But even when I was a kid, I had access to a really old computer, like an old what was it? Like the old Apple II or Commodore 64. I mean, no, it was newer than that. I don't remember, but But I did use a typewriter though. I had actually used it.
Parents were on drugs.
My mom's boyfriend and Amber didn't get along. There was a lot of fights. I defended Amber. I defended her fully.
Oh, I get you. I guess it can. It's a different.
Does she say that? No.
Less distraction.
Does she say how I defended her against everything else that was put her way?
Thank you,
I lost
Dystonia.
friends over defending her ways? No. Why? Because she wants to play victim. I know you're not supposed to say you regret anything, but I do regret that
Thank you so
relationship.
much. That explains it.
Wholeheartedly, immensely, because of everything that happened in it. Yes, we cared about each other at one point.
Okay.
But I don't even care to even be her friend.
So Crystal texted her parents,
so
kind
now
of
she's
letting them
talking
know
about
I love
Crystal.
you.
Okay.
Stuff like that,
And I get you. There's
And
less
Crystal's
distractions.
dad said he loved me too. So I thought it was sweet. And I've told him before, you know how people get upset with each other and they're in like humongous arguments? Let me take a pause. Let me stop for a second. You know how when people are like in an argument and they're like, blah, 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 I hate you. It's happened with me. That's how I get sometimes.
Okay.
And I have argued with Crystal's parents before. I'm not gonna lie, it has happened. But in the midst of those arguments and at the end of those arguments, I break down and I cry and I tell Crystal's dad that he's like, a father to me. So, sorry, now I'm getting emotional again. And he's never said that before, so. Yeah, anyways.
This is also around the time my mom and Amberlynn start getting into a lot of spats about stuff.
It's an interesting thread that we see throughout the whole time. We see that she was just in a dispute with the parents in the foster family. Used the parent of the prior ex-girlfriend, Crystal, I believe she said her name was, the one we saw a moment ago. And now Destiny, obviously, we're hearing the same thing. Oh yes, Kitty Goddess, I have sat down to a traditional typewriter. I have used one a few times. I've used an old-fashioned one. I've used like the actual kind with the ribbon and the keys that pop up. Yeah, I've used one. But I was young enough that I never really used it very much. I mostly used the computer. Thankfully, I mostly used the computer. I was old enough to remember when I saw on a computer you could delete stuff and type. I was like, this is so much better than a typewriter. Why would anybody ever want to use a typewriter? This is so much better. I remember when I was a little kid, because I like used the typewriter a couple of times, and I was like, oh, how do you go back? Like, what if you make a mistake? I don't like this thing. I'd rather use a pencil so I can erase. And then when I saw a computer and I realized you could erase and you could add words and you could do nonlinear editing, I was like, oh my God, this is the thing. And I was only like, 7 years old, but I could already tell like this was so much better than a regular typewriter, even at that age. And I'm not saying there's nothing nice about a typewriter, but just for the speed of laying something out, if I want to write something up, the PC is just so darn fast. You know, as somebody who was old enough to have used the typewriter, I remember that.
Arguing quite a bit. Amberlynn's she's very set in her way or no way kind of deal. I don't know. That's just she doesn't care, like, if she disrespects you, basically. Like, she really just does not care to have respect.
That's a fair point,
like, we
Rosalind.
were at my mom's house living with her.
It's not fun
and
for
she still
anybody.
was, you know, like, I don't know, if it had been the other way around, I was not going to try to argue with her mom, you know, like, it was like a respecting your elders kind of thing. Even though you're not a child, you should still respect your elders.
No, I kind of agree with Destiny.
As far as I know, because Amberlynn, I guess, starts talking about her childhood a lot right here. As far as I know, I don't know if she lied about anything that happened in her childhood. I don't know why she would lie about that kind of stuff. But, I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to mock Amber for having grown up rough. You know, some of us, you know, I haven't always had it easy either. I mean, it's you know, it takes a toll. It's hard. So I don't want people to think I'm completely unsympathetic. Just pointing out how, you know, it's very possible the foster home wasn't a good place. I know there's a lot of foster homes that are terrible places. But, you know, that doesn't mean necessarily that that Amber was the most respectful either. You know, there's two sides to every story, right?
And then
3 sides.
I feel like that's a lot of her problems. You know, like, my mom tells her this at one point. She's like, you focus too much
you understand,
on the
Kitty.
past. You blame the past for everything that's happening to you now. And you're not moving on from it. I feel like that's still a big part of what's going on with her now. Like, she's still...
But I do love, like, I think a typewriter was an amazing invention. Like, it changed, like, so, it was so great, like, when it came out. And it's still a cool thing. Like I think it's just a really cool piece of work. I mean, also what it symbolizes.
On what all has happened in the past, and she's not moving forward. Her and my mom started arguing back and forth, and my mom ended up getting physical with Amberlynn. That's where the K-cup holder comes back.
Okay.
I think they're kind of slapping around at each other, and my mom, that K-cup holder was sitting on the stairs for us to take upstairs or whatever.
I did not know they got in a fight.
Hit her over the head with it.
Hit her in the head with what?
For us to take upstairs. They're kind of slapping around at each other, and my mom, that K-cup holder was sitting on the stairs for us to take upstairs or whatever. My mom found at each other, and my mom, that K-cup holder was sitting on the stairs.
What was
for
that?
us to take upstairs.
I can't hear what she's saying. I'm gonna slow it down. There's something that was to be taken up the stairs?
Amberlynn, that's where the K-cup holder comes back.
The K-cup holder. Okay. Cake. I could not understand. Did you say a cake? I was like, what? Throwing the K-cup holder. You know, it's a shame for a relationship to degenerate to conflict, physical conflict. It's gone too far at that point. That's unhealthy for everyone. And for her mother to be fighting with her girlfriend is just, I don't know how she can, you know, I'm sure it was tough for her, but that's just really unfortunate.
I think they're kind of slapping around at each other, and my mom, that K-cup holder was sitting on the stairs for us to take upstairs or whatever.
Absolutely, Rosalind.
It was
absolutely.
It's very traumatizing for me, honestly. It was. I was freaking out.
You know, and I just want to tell you that, Aunt Tammy, if you're listening still, that the people who say they like you, they don't really like you. They're liking the drama, and you're giving it to them.
Okay. So that's why she doesn't like her aunt, because her aunt is spoken about.
I'm tired of not being appreciated when
Let me go back just a little bit.
the best that I can. I'm tired.
Okay. They kicked her out because she caused a lot of problems, was very disrespectful and unappreciative. Tammy claims her aunt Tommy claims she tried to be a mother figure, but she was rude and disrespectful. She's a liar, a manipulator, and always the victim. When there's a lot of people saying the same thing about you, it's not a good thing. I mean, if it's a bad thing they're saying. If it's a good thing they're saying, then it is a good thing. Wow, I know how she feels. When you have a family member who you really care for and you love them so much, but they're just a compulsive liar, and they always make themselves the victim, they put you in a hard place, because what do? Do you let them take advantage of you, or do you know, or do you go against, you know, do you alienate your family member? Neither one of those is a good option. She's caught her and confronted her on several lies, and it's enough is enough. Her heart hurts. I believe, you know, this reads very authentic to me. This sounds like somebody who actually cares and was really hurt. I mean, I know I shouldn't just assume off of reading a message, but this feels very authentic. This doesn't feel like a message she wrote just to make Amber look bad. This feels, you know, this is mostly talking about how hurt she is rather than just putting down Amber. It's a sad state.
I'm tired of not being appreciated when I try to help you the best that I can. And this is frustrating. This whole situation is super frustrating.
Talking to Becky's mom,
and I
right after she had her surgery.
That's wonderful of you to
stop.
That's a beautiful. You take care of those kids.
Don't let her fool everyone, please.
I am not trying to argue with you. That is the last thing I want to do since you just got out of surgery. I don't want to cause any more stress onto you, onto Becky, onto anyone in your family, onto myself, because that's just not going to fix anything. I am just tired of the added drama onto my YouTube, and I'm tired of not being appreciated when I try to help you the best that I can. And it's just frustrating. This whole situation is super frustrating, and I finally just kind of wanted to speak upon the situation.
So she wanted to speak on a situation that became about her when Norma had just got out of surgery. Speak on a situation that
Well, you know, I think it's a good place to end it for tonight. I don't remember I think it was something else I may have wanted to talk about, but we're running a little bit toward the end here. There just really isn't enough time to do another segment. But I just want to shout out to Staniak Diaries here for being a foster parent. I think that's just a beautiful thing. And Rosalind as well. That's absolutely a beautiful thing to do. Anybody else in here who does something similar, a ton of respect for anyone. I know it's a lot of work, but I'm sure it's very rewarding as well. Hopefully you folks have had a great time tonight. Everyone, if you've enjoyed it, please click the like. Please click subscribe. Check out my pal, Skinny Queen Reacts. If you, I don't know if she's going on tonight, but if she comes on tomorrow or she comes on tonight, whenever, go check her out. Let me put a link to her channel real quickly. Yeah, good night, everybody. Go have a good time. If Hannibal's on, go check him out. If there's any other good channels that are on, go check them out or get some rest. Okay, everyone, you're all beautiful people. I appreciate the chatters, the lurkers. I've had a great time tonight, and I will see you around. Let me end on the picture, and we're going to escape the orbit. Be blessed, everyone.